Hey everybody, this is Joe Christador, and I've been putting off this type of video for a long time. I'm gonna actually move my glasses. The glare is driving me a little bit nuts. Um, so I've been kind of doing a series on fear. I've kind of been doing it as I felt like I needed to. I'm gonna kind of walk around a little bit because I tend to talk better when I'm up and about. So actually, I'm working on this today. I'm getting my finances recalibrated, so I actually know what I'm actually doing, where I need to focus my funds, and how much funds I need to get rid of the current debt I have. A lot of the debt was looking through and trying to get different tools in my business, and I've gotten to a point where I realize you can have as many tools as you want in the business, whatever business you choose. I'm on the internet marketing and multi-level marketing industry, and a lot of it still boils down to people and people relating to you and your story. And part of why I'm doing this is I'm sure there's others out there that actually are running or have run into the same type of issue as far as finances and maintaining those finances to accomplish your goals. And I'm just going again. The whole theme of this series is to go through and just speak as you go through, without monitoring what you're saying. It's actually funny. That dog barked, and I felt my body, the fight or flight, the chemical rush through my body. So it's interesting how quickly fear can take over, and especially if you play a series of stories or film, if it's on repeat and you continuously are playing that story in your head about certain things. And for me, one of the probably long-standing issues I've always had is a relationship with money, and that may sound a little bit odd, but the relationship has always been something where I think at a very young age my parents did an awesome job of kind of hiding the fact that we had no money. And we always did. My mother was great about kind of, I don't know how many of you guys know Mad Libs, but Mad Libs was there. We actually had a game. It was called Dots, and she would just do little circles, little dots on a piece of paper. And the whole part of the game was each person had a turn, and they would draw a connected dot, and you couldn't go diagonal, but the whole idea was to make a box, and whoever closed the box got an initial. Whenever had the most boxes at the end won. That was an example of what my mom, filled in the gaps and always made it fun when we didn't have a lot of money. And my parents were in their teens when they had me, and they're still together. And they had me when I was in high school, and I'm 42, so I give them a lot of credit for going through what they did. I'll kind of go into a little bit of my backstory as far as what happened to me, and but purpose of, again, this video is my relationship with money. So that story highlights the fact that money doesn't bring happiness. For me, there was another time in high school where actually I was in college, and I really had no money. I was working over the summer, so I had some funds, but I was trying to pay all of my bills, and like just basic bills like my car, just food. And I was in the military, and I was in ROTC at the time, and I remember kind of just freaking out in my head. Like, I felt like I was collapsed. I felt like I had no way out. I was almost about to puke, because in my head I had painted a box. I had painted a picture of my situation, which included my financial situation. I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to pay this bill. And the bill was my utilities, because I was actually staying with a bunch of roommates at the time. We were staying off campus, so we had to make sure I paid them. And I just remember freaking out in my head, like, what am I going to do? And I realized at that point, I made a decision. I said, I will never actually worry about money again. And of course, it's come and gone. And I've kind of, ebb and flowed that idea. I realized that pattern though. What that has done for me is I've almost gotten to the point where, well, I've ignored it. And if I'm being honest, have ignored my financial situation, and I just started borrowing money against the credit I had. And I'm at a point where I've pretty much used up all the credit and maxed out my limits. And it's kind of interesting, and I'm doing this, and this is really a huge kind of step for me. I know you really can't tell, but just getting this out into the universe and not holding on to it, for me is a huge step for me. And I'm sitting here, and I'm actually struggling a little bit to kind of come up with the words. My mind just went blank, which is interesting because that's kind of indicative that I've struggling to let some things physically go. I kind of feel my stomach kind of getting a little knotty. So just doing an inventory, and that's what I'm doing today, of where I'm at with my finances. I still have money, but that's, I know, coming to an end if I don't change my patterns and I don't account for what I spend it on. And that may temporarily be, I change my lifestyle temporarily, and I refocus. I dedicated to refocusing on my business, and I'm actually making a decision today or tomorrow, actually tomorrow, on whether I utilize somebody else's support. Now I'm going to be putting out more money, right? And I know if you've ever been sold anything by anybody, they'll ask you. They said, well, and of course it's a sales pitch, but it does make sense. If you if I can guarantee you that if you give me right now it's about $5,000. If you give me $5,000, I guarantee to give you, double that back. Would you do it? Well, of course you would. Now, that's dependent on a lot of things, right? That's dependent on me executing on what they ask, right? So I feel like I have a pretty good, solid understanding of, and right now my struggle is marketing and getting the leads that I want to get. There's people always looking for a solution, and for me, if you can provide that solution to the person, and obviously they have to trust you, and there's always a point where you say, well, am I going to trust this person or not? And that is, something that you have to build over time. And, it depends on, now that time can be very short if you are able to build rapport with people. And that to me is coming from a place of honesty. And I may use some of this video in the future, I don't know, but just creating the content, this is honestly more personal for me to get this out into the universe and get this off of my personal, me personally. Even though it is completely about me and in my situation, in my life situation, I've also had to go along the money theme. I'm going to sit here in a second. I've always kind of felt like I don't deserve a lot of the things that I have, and I realized money doesn't make you any type of way. It just allows you to be a better you. It allows you to help more people. And same thing with selling or sales. I believe I have an awesome product that I can share with other people. I believe it's something, I've seen it personally myself. I've seen it with people around me. Miraculous things that are amazing, and more people need to hear about it, especially veterans. So to me, just the more people I help, the more people the more money I'll get, right? And there's nothing wrong with saying that, and that took me a long time just to be able to say with money. Um, it's interesting, kind of just going back to where I got this belief from. You know, a lot of things on TV, you see these people making a whole bunch of money, and like, well, these people are jerks, and there are jerks. It doesn't matter; they're jerks anywhere. And I believe that, you know, like I said before, the money only will accentuate the type of person you are. If you're a jerk, then guess what? It's just going to make you more of a jerk. And if you're a good-hearted person, it's going to allow you to, again, help others. And this has been kind of an interesting conversation with who I don't know. But it's really actually a gorgeous day out, and that bird is really loud. I wonder how that's going to come out on the audio. But again, I just appreciate that money will only help me move forward. It's not holding myself accountable for what I spend it on, and getting rid of the stuff I don't need. And you know, if there's software that I've worked on, I've have numerous autoresponders. I consolidated those into one. For those of you who don't know, those are emails, accounts to be able to build a list and send that list out to the people that have interacted with you. I've had multiple automation software tools, one being Entreport. Another one I've actually used was ClickFunnels. I'm currently using that now. And for those who want more information on that, you know, I'll put a link there in the bottom. And I've also had multiple shopping carts. Shopping cart is how you actually receive payments for products. I've got multiple software products. Most recently, I bought Adobe Professional CC, which is the video editing software. And I'm the type of person, I like to have used the product, so then if I build out a team, I'm able to articulate to them what exactly I'm doing. And honestly, I do have a little bit of the shiny new toy syndrome. So I like new stuff, and I find myself buying stuff you probably don't need. For example, I bought a golf swing set. Actually, let me show you. The thing is actually pretty cool. It's a golf club with a ball on the end of it, and there's a little I guess it's like a square. You can put it on the end of your golf club. And let me say, I'm going to pause this and I'll bring it up. Hold on a sec. Alright, so I'm going to turn this sideways and I'll show you guys what this is. Here, let's see if we can do that. Cool. So what this is, it's called Fi Golf. And what you do is you got this little it's a Bluetooth. You can put it on actually any golf club. And if you notice, there's a sensor on the bottom of this, and then they actually have the standard grips, right? And all you do is, there's an app. Obviously, I can't show you that, but you swing it, and I'm gonna swing it here. I wish I could. Well, that's not gonna work. I'm going to swing it and just let you hear the sound. So it actually makes a golf swing, and it actually feels like you're swinging a golf club. So that long little kind of intro is, well, did I need that? No, I haven't golfed in, I don't even know. I haven't golfed in probably about a year and a half. But I enjoyed it. But I bought it again on a whim, and honestly, in my mind, I I go back to that old pattern of, well, I'll make more money to support what I'm buying now, instead of delaying gratification and allowing the money to be there instead of spending money I don't have. That was kind of really hard to say. Really hard to say, because I'm owning the fact that I do that, and I'm trying to stay here with it. And I know this is probably really boring for a lot of people, but just taking an inventory live is an interesting conversation. So what I'll do is I will kind of work up and let you guys know. I'll kind of do a number of my overall debt, and I will put this out and I'll share this on a weekly, monthly basis. I'll make that decision later, see what's appropriate, and I need to start doing what I say. And that's really the biggest takeaway from this video for me, because my integrity is what's important. And if I say it, I need to adhere by it. So by doing that, I will be able to help more people, because if I say I'm going to do something, I will do it in the time frame and in the manner in which I tell you. So hopefully this helped somebody better their lives today, and appreciate you if you guys listen to the end. But I will again start this journey here, and I will update you guys. I think I will tomorrow do a video of a total number of my current debt, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.